Welcome to English Every Day, the podcast. I'm Mary.
And I'm Luke. We're so glad you could join us.
Today, we have a really practical and important topic, especially for parents.
That's right. We're going to talk about parent-teacher conferences.
These meetings can be a little intimidating for anyone, but especially if English isn't your first language.
Absolutely. But they are a fantastic opportunity to understand how your child is doing in school and to build a partnership with their teacher.
Exactly. So our goal today is to give you the vocabulary and phrases you need to walk into that conference feeling confident and prepared.
We'll cover how to ask about your child's progress, their behavior, homework, and what to do with the teacher's feedback.
So, Luke, let's start with the basics. For someone who might be new to the school system here, what exactly is a parent-teacher conference?
Great question. A parent-teacher conference is a short meeting, usually about 15 to 20 minutes between a child's parents and their teacher.
Right.
Right. The main purpose is to discuss the student's progress in school. This includes their academic performance, so their grades, but also their social and emotional development.
That's a key point. It's not just about test scores. It's also about how your child is fitting in, making friends, and behaving in the classroom.
Exactly. It's a holistic view of your child. And importantly, it's a two-way street. It's not just the teacher talking at you.
It's a conversation. It's your chance to share what you see at home, too. The teacher only sees your child in a school setting, so your perspective is incredibly valuable.
Right. Maybe your child is struggling with homework at home, or maybe something has happened in the family that could be affecting their mood. The teacher needs to know that.
So preparation is key. Before you go, it's a good idea to jot down a few questions you want to ask.
Definitely. Don't be afraid to bring a small notebook. It shows you're engaged and serious about your child's education.
Okay, let's get into the specifics. The first big area parents want to know about is academic progress. How are my child's grades? Are they learning what they should be learning?
Right. This is the core of the meeting for many people.
So, what are some good, clear questions you can ask to get this information?
A great place to start is with a general question. Something like, how is my child doing overall? Or, could you give me an overview of my child's progress?
An overview of my child's progress. I like that. It's polite and open-ended.
Exactly. Then you can get more specific. You can ask about particular subjects. For example, how is Maria doing in math? Or, I'd like to know about her progress in reading.
And what if you want to know about the good and the bad?
A very common and effective way to ask is, what are my child's strengths? And where does my child need to improve?
Strengths and needs to improve. That's great vocabulary. Strengths means what they are good at. Needs to improve is a softer, more positive way of saying what are their weaknesses.
That's right. Another way to ask about challenges is, what subjects does my child struggle with? The verb to struggle means to have difficulty with something.
Right.
On the positive side, you could ask, where does my child excel? To excel means to be exceptionally good at something.
So let's do a quick role play. Luke, you be the parent and I'll be the teacher. You're asking about your son, Leo.
Okay, sounds good. So, hello, Miss Smith. Thank you for meeting with me. I'd like to ask about Leo's progress. How is he doing overall?
Hi, Mr. Jones. Thanks for coming in. Overall, Leo is doing well. He's a very bright and creative student.
That's great to hear. What would you say are his biggest strengths?
He excels in art and creative writing. His stories are very imaginative. He also works well in groups.
Okay. And where does he need to improve?
He sometimes struggles with paying attention during math lessons. His fundamentals are good, but he can get distracted and miss important details.
And that's a perfect, simple exchange. It gives you a clear picture of what's going well and where the challenge is.
Exactly.
All right, so after academics, the next big area is behavior and social skills.
Yeah, this is so important. You want to know if your child is happy and behaving well in the classroom environment.
Absolutely. So how do you ask about this? A simple, direct question works well. How is my child's behavior in the classroom? Or you could ask about their interactions with others. For example, how does my child get along with other students? The phrase get along with is a great one. It means to have a friendly relationship.
Right. You could also ask, does my child have a good group of friends?
Yes, and another important aspect is participation. You can ask, does my child participate in class discussions? To participate means to take part in something.
That's a good one. It tells you if your child is engaged and confident enough to share their ideas.
Exactly. And you also want to know about respect. A good question is my child respectful to you and other students?
And what if the teacher gives you some negative feedback? For example, what if they say your child is disruptive?
Disruptive is a key word. It means they cause problems or stop the class from continuing smoothly. If you hear that, you should ask for more information.
Right. So let's do another role play. This time, I'm the parent of a girl named Sophia, and you're the teacher.
Okay.
Mr. Davis, thank you for your time. I'd also like to ask about Sophia's behavior. How is she in class?
Well, Sophia is very energetic, which is great. However, she can sometimes be a bit disruptive. She tends to talk to her neighbors when I'm giving instructions.
Oh, I see. Could you give me an example of that?
Certainly. Just yesterday, during our science lesson, I had to ask her to stop chatting a few times. It makes it hard for her and the students around her to focus.
I understand. Thank you for letting me know. I'll talk to her about that at home. How does she get along with her classmates otherwise?
Oh, she's very social and well-liked. She has many friends and is usually very kind and helpful to others. It's really just the chattiness during lessons that we need to work on.
And that shows how asking for a specific example can help you understand the problem much better. It's not that she's a bad kid, it's a specific behavior that needs to be addressed.
Precisely.
Okay, on to our next topic, which is a big one for many families, homework.
Ah, yes, the daily struggle.
It can be. So what are the essential questions to ask about homework during a parent-teacher conference?
First, you want to know if it's getting done. A simple question is my child completing and turning in their homework on time?
Turning in is another good phrase. It means submitting or giving the work to the teacher.
Exactly. You also might want to ask about the quantity and difficulty. For example, how much time should my child be spending on homework each night?
That's a great question because sometimes parents don't know if their child is working too slowly or if the workload is just very heavy.
Right. It gives you a baseline. If the teacher says about 30 minutes and your child is taking 2 hours, that's a sign that there might be a problem.
Yeah, a sign they might be struggling with the material.
Another excellent question is about your role as a parent. You can ask, what is the best way for me to help my child with their homework?
I love that question. It shows the teacher you want to be a partner.
And the teacher's answer can be very helpful. They might say, please provide a quiet space for them to work, or you can help by reviewing their vocabulary words with them.
It's important to clarify that helping doesn't mean doing the work for them.
Absolutely not. The teacher wants to see what the child can do on their own, but you can provide support, encouragement, and the right environment.
For example, if your child asks you for an answer in math instead of giving it to them, you could say, let's look at the example in your textbook together.
Perfect. You're guiding them to find the answer themselves, which is much more valuable for their learning.
This is maybe the most crucial part. You've gotten all this information, now what?
So we've talked about asking questions, but what about the other side? Understanding the teacher's feedback and knowing what to do next. First, listen carefully and take notes. Don't be shy about writing things down. And if you don't understand a word or a phrase the teacher uses, you must ask for clarification. It's so important.
Absolutely. There's no shame in that. The teacher wants you to understand. What are some good phrases for that?
You can say, I'm sorry, I don't understand that word. Could you explain what disruptive means? Or could you please rephrase that?
Rephrase means to say it in a different way. That's a great one.
Another very powerful tool is asking for examples, like we did in the role play. Could you give me a specific example of when he was disrespectful? This turns a general comment into a concrete situation you can understand and address.
Right, that's so helpful.
After you understand the feedback, the next step is to make a plan. This is where you become a team with the teacher.
So you can ask questions like, what can we do at home to support my child's improvement in this area?
Exactly. Or what are the next steps? This shows you're ready to take action.
The teacher might suggest some strategies, like a daily report card for behavior or a list of websites for extra math practice.
Yes, and finally, it's a good idea to talk about follow-up. You can ask, could we check in again in a few weeks to see how things are going? You could do this by email or a brief phone call.
That really solidifies the partnership. It shows you're committed for the long term.
Exactly. It turns the meeting from a simple report into an ongoing conversation. This collaborative approach is really the key to success. That's a very important point, Mary. It's one of the most challenging situations for a parent. Your first instinct might be to get defensive or emotional, and that's completely natural. You love your child, and hearing criticism can feel like a personal attack.
Absolutely. It's so easy to feel like you or your child is being judged. But remember, the purpose of the conference is only a respectful conversation about your child's progress and should not be taken personally.
Well, that was a lot of information, but hopefully very useful for our listeners.
I think so. Let's quickly summarize the key takeaways. First, be prepared. Think about your questions before you go.
Right. Second, ask specific questions about academics, behavior, and homework. Use the phrases we talked about.
Third, if you don't understand something, ask for clarification or an example. Don't be afraid to say, I don't understand.
And finally, work with the teacher to create a plan of action and schedule a follow-up. Remember, you and the teacher are on the same team.
The team to help your child succeed.
Exactly.
Thank you all so much for listening to English Every Day, the podcast. We hope this episode helps you feel more confident at your next parent-teacher conference.